What is up, Foker Doodles? It's Joe, Spot of Joe. No, it's actually not Spot of Joe. It's Passion Unchained. I just put my website up today, and even though I had updated the name a few months ago, the website still says Spot of Joe, but it doesn't anymore. It's Passion Unchained, passionunchained.com. It's nice to have it back up. All my articles and stuff, all up and at them. I use Squarespace. Squarespace is cool. Wish I had a referral code to help y'all out, but I don't. So, I will not give that to you, but I do have all the links to all the camera and the lens. Well, I'll talk about at the end of the episode. Today, I'm going to give you something that I worked out recently, something that was confusing me, something that was keeping me back from living a life that I wanted to live. And it's a mistake that a lot of people make. I would say a core mistake, a wrong assumption, a wrong way to look at building a custom life for yourself, building a path for yourself, and following your passion, if you will. It's a wrong way to look at that, and it's a way that can easily bite you in the ass and take away all the potential success that you have, turn it into frustration. And let me walk you through. As you guys know, I was in college to do computer science a few years ago, and I started my blog in college, and I was writing articles. I started making videos. I started making podcasts, and I started thinking about what life would be like if I created an empire, a content creation empire that resonated with my viewers and my listeners, and that gave value in a way that people loved listening to it, and they subscribed, and and maybe I started a Patreon that people subscribe to, and then maybe I have a mailing list, and then I share affiliate links on the mailing list. Anyway, in some way that I got money from it, and in some way that money was enough for me to live my life in a way that was location independent and luxurious. I just sneeze. And I started thinking about that, and I was like, well, why the hell am I going for computer science? And I dropped out of college. Like I talked about in my latest video, my family nearly disowned me and effectively disowned me for a few months. For like maybe half a year to a year, I was persona non grata to my family. And it was a bit of a drama, and it was not a fun time. But in the process, I dove into my passion for creation, and I got some headway, and eventually I took a break and focused on solidifying my place here in Austin, which I would say is pretty solid and I'm in a good place, thankfully. But that was what I took some time off doing, and now I'm back at content creation again. But there were periods of time where I had quit, or I had changed the name of my blog. I changed the name of my blog several times. I changed the name, or I changed the logo, or I changed the mission, or I changed something fundamental. I either quit or I changed something fundamental because it wasn't resonating. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like something that spoke to me at a deeper level. It didn't feel like something that was extremely like, this feels like I'm doing the right thing. This feels like I'm on the right path. And there's a huge issue in that. There's a huge issue in that. There's a huge issue in that I was changing things up because I didn't feel like things were right. Now, there's a fundamental mistake I'm making in looking at it that way. It's not the fact that I'm not feeling good about it doesn't feel good, but that's not the problem in this particular instance. And let me explain why. That something that feels like it resonates, something that feels like you're on the right path, that is an amazing feeling. But life isn't meant to be easy all the time. And when you follow your passion, it's not all about what you're getting out of it. To quote a famous quote, and to paraphrase it and change it a little bit, ask not what you can do for your passion. Ask not what your... I fucked it up. I completely spoiled it for y'all. But ask not what your passion can do for you. Ask what you can do for your passion. There was a time where I was jumping from thing to thing to thing. And to explore, I would say that's a really important thing to do, especially when you're in your exploratory phase, to figure out what you want to base your life off of. But I had talked about following my passion, and somebody in a group that I was part of said, you shouldn't follow your passion. You should be a craftsman. You should operate your life like you're a craftsman, like you're following... You're becoming better and better at something, and that something just happens to be something you like doing, and that's what a passionate person is. That's what a passionate person does. When you look at your life as if I'm following my passion, you're operating on a mindset of what can this craft do for me? It needs to give me enjoyment. It needs to give me appreciation. It needs to give me fulfillment. But you should be thinking about, what can I do for it? What effort can I put in? What practice can I put in? What habits can I put in? What focus can I put in? Now, there are some things that you do that you hate. That's not what I would suggest. I would say, you need to be a craftsman about your passion. What that means is you're kind of creating a circuit. A successful passion is a circuit of effort and energy where you're essentially plugging yourself in. Like for me, for DIY, for making things with my hands, and for making content. I put effort, focus, and energy into it, and it gives me back fulfillment and energy and effort. And now sometimes it's not flowing as well as it should. And the solution isn't to stop putting in effort because it's not giving me what I want. That won't help tomorrow. What will help tomorrow is I feel like shit. It's not giving me fulfillment. Today, 90% of the time it does. Okay, I'm going to still put in effort today. I don't feel like it. I'm going to put in. I might not be able to put in as much as I usually do because it's not fulfilling today. But I'm going to put in some effort, and then hopefully soon it will give me the fulfillment I usually get. Like maybe sometimes you turn your faucet on and it takes a few seconds, like spurts out water, the water pressure might be low, or maybe you just, something's weird, like maybe the boiler tank, like you used all the hot water and now it's like, it's switching to cold water or something, right? The faucet usually spits out water, but it's not doing it in this exact moment. In this exact moment, the water pressure's a little low or the hot water's not working or something, but you know that 99% of the time it works. That doesn't mean you never use that faucet again. It doesn't mean you're like, fuck faucets, I'm just gonna, go upstairs and use the faucet upstairs instead of the one in the kitchen. I'm gonna use the faucet upstairs in the bathroom because this faucet for this one moment is not working. Like, that's not what you do. You just wait a little bit, or you just keep it on. Maybe it takes a while to fill up the water. Maybe you're like, well, I guess I don't have hot water for this moment. Maybe I'll have to wait a few hours for the hot water to come back on. And then you leave it, and then you continue to do cooking or whatever you like. And that's a good analogy for this because following your passion is more about being a craftsman about something that usually gives you passion. But if it's not giving you passion for a specific moment or a small period of time, if it still gives you passion 80 to 90% of the time, but just 10 to 20% of the time it's not, put in a consistent amount of effort. And if there's a day where it's not giving you passion, don't completely abandon it. Put in a little less effort maybe because it's not, you won't be as motivated to do it, but still put in some effort. And I think that's a really key distinction in understanding how to follow your passion. People use the phrase follow your passion, but there's nuance behind it, because if you follow your passion and just decide that the moment it stops being enjoyable, that you cut it off, or you change to something else, or you change it fundamentally somehow, like me changing the name, or me changing like the purpose, or me changing like the logo, or me abandoning it and quitting for a month, for a week, for 2 months, for me being inconsistent with content, because not every piece of content that I create, I love so much the process. Like, I think we really need to take a look at this idea of following our passion and understand it's more about being a craftsman, more about putting effort and energy into it and getting a return, and maybe that return only comes 90% of the time. I hope this helped you. I hope this gave you some clarity. I know that if 5 years ago, if somebody told me that, like, hey, sometimes blogging and vlogging is not what you love, and sometimes blogging and vlogging is won't give you the fulfillment it usually does, but 90% of the time it will, just that 10% of the time, stick with it, I would have been a lot more consistent with content, and I would probably be a lot further than I am right now. I would have skipped months and years of just backpedaling and quitting and shit. So I really think this is useful information. I hope this is useful information for you. If you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe, and share this video so other people can see it too, especially if you have friends that are starting their own thing, or thinking about starting their own thing, or on some kind of custom lifestyle building path. Now, I'm on a custom lifestyle building path. I hope to have this YouTube channel be my sole source of income, and one day it will be, and I'm hoping that you guys will help me there. I want to give as much value as possible, helping you build a life you love, and helping you in every step along that way. And part of that, and that's for me to build this community of people that I can help. And the more that this channel gives me money, the more I can pay my bills and less time I have to do other things. So in the description below, I have a bunch of links to products that I love that I use for production, like this lavalier microphone, like this recorder, like the camera and the lens mount adapter I'm using right now. I think I have the tripod and the SD card I use, but I might not have those. I have a bunch of links to Amazon, to products on Amazon that I use, that I'm using for these videos, that I use for most of my videos, and that are quality, solid products. I use them myself every single video. Well, some of them I record on my phone, but most of them I record with these. And at no cost to you, if you click on that link and buy anything on Amazon within 24 hours, I get a little cut of that. So that would be super helpful. It'll also help you, because then I can give you more quality content. So if you're a big fan of these, if these videos have helped you at all, clicking on those links and purchasing anything that you legitimately think would help your life from those links, I get a little kickback without any extra cost to you. You pay exactly the same, and you have no idea how much that helps me. So hope that this helps you, that helps you, and I'm going to stop rambling right now and let you go on with your day. Cheers and enjoy.